Alright boys and girls, we are finally gonna do the bunghole video. But first we gotta move some stuff around because we need that welder at the work table, and then I gotta have a spot to sit and all that good stuff. So I spent a couple of days sweeping this floor because these things are awesome, but they don't roll across dirt, no matter how much concrete is under the dirt. Of course you can't really tell that I've done any sweeping yet, so.
Hey,
Yeah, babe.
a broom is like a welder. Just because you own one doesn't mean you know how to use it.
I guess that's fair. Oh, why are you so heavy? Stop. What am I about to hit? That's my toe. That hurts. Now the goal is to take this 1-inch bunghole and make it fit this 2.5-inch pipe. Of course, we've got 2 of those pipes, but that's okay. We got 2 bungholes. Now, if you were paying attention a while back, the 6 of us crawled up underneath this truck and found a spot to mark out for our bungholes. But now the cab's off the truck, and I've seen exactly how small the O2 sensor is, so I'm thinking maybe we can move it a little further forward from the mark that we originally put and put this O2 sensor right here, which would line it up better with the mark we made over there. Now, if we measure this bunghole out, we're gonna find that we probably need a 7/8 inch hole. Now, I do have a 7/8 inch drill bit, but it's about as dull as my Uncle Mike was. So we're gonna use my step drill bit. Never knew my real drill bit, but it's only 3/4 of an inch. So from that point, if the 7/8 can't finish the job, we're gonna have to use a grinding wheel or some type of, I don't know, rimming device. All right, y'all either put your safety glasses on or squint real hard because I don't need none of y'all to get a problem with your eyes.
Are you talking to me?
No, I'm talking to the 6 people that might actually watch this crap. Little more to go. It's getting warm. I need some lubricant. I don't know, battery says it's good. But it is a battery that's been sitting for 6 months. Let's back that up, let it cool down. Alright, I let it cool down and I realized the drill was set to fast speed, so we're gonna set it on a slower speed. Bad idea. Alright. There we go. Now that's about an 1/8 inch too small. I guess we could weld it. No, let's finish. There's a lip on this that I assume is supposed to sit inside the pipe before you weld it, so. Well, that ain't gonna make it any less dull. Let's see if this works. Let's go the right way. No, mother. So that ain't good. Might need to tap that back down. I'm gonna have to clean that up regardless. All right, let's try to ream it out. Oh, look at there. It fits. Or at least it will once I take that burr off right there. Now y'all know I'm not a mechanic. I'm gonna be real quick to say that I've probably already made 3 or 4 mistakes, but it's possible I might make a few more. Now obviously I'm not gonna be able to hold this bung in place and hold it still with my thumb because that's gonna get super hot whenever I weld it. My first thought was put a C-clamp on it, front to back. But recently, I welded some nuts together for my uncle, no matter how that sounds. And what I found was the nuts were on the bolt, but once they were welded together, I assume it was heat distortion, but the bolt did not spin as freely as it did before. So we want to avoid that, try to keep the heat distortion out of it. So we're gonna tack, 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 and we'll fill it in little at a time. But more importantly, I told my friend Wayne what I was doing, and he offered me an O2 sensor, which does fit the bung as far as threads go, and it's a perfect fit, but the wiring's different. But it's a used O2 sensor. He doesn't care if it gets destroyed from the welding. He told me keep it just in case you need it later in life. So we're going to thread our bung on this, and then we're gonna weld it in place. That way I can safely hold this in the right spot. Now I don't know if this is right or wrong, but I got some lead-free solder flux here, and I've had good results with it in the past. So we're gonna coat these threads on the O2 sensor with it and see if that helps us reduce the idea that this won't get stuck in the bunghole when we weld it in place. It's got a good ground. Let's try this. Well, that wasn't exactly a proper tack. It was a little more than a tack, but everything is good so far. All right, the current problem is because this is a round pipe and this is sort of flat as far as the lip goes. I was not holding that straight up and down so that you had the same amount on both sides of gap, and so now it's protruding a little more downward than it should be, but I think that'll be okay. That'll be fine. We can work with that. So far, so good. Used a wrench because I didn't want to touch it. We'll let it cool down before we do any more. Alright, now all we gotta do is the other side. Wait, yes. Yes! That O2 sensor's hot. That plastic on the wiring's a little bit soft. Yay! Alright. Probably need to spray some type of cleaner up in there to get rid of all the flux, but I don't know. I guess that's still warm. The heat from the exhaust will probably burn it up, though. Hopefully. I don't know. Well, I think that's going to work out just fine. O2 right here. Yeah, baby. Actually got that one drilled out without having to ream it out with a grinding stone. Look at there, baby. Now all we got to do is hold it in the right spot. Of course, I don't know which way I guess this way is up. Because it does rock because of the curvature of the pipe that we're trying to put the bunghole on.
How's it going?
Oh, I'm doing the best I can.
I seen you do better.
So have I. Alright, so we made sure that our O2 sensor had enough engine clearance to be installed and replaced when necessary. So the next step is pull that O2 sensor back out, take the cab, put it back on the frame, make sure that there's cab clearance to get that O2 sensor installed. And then we can start mocking up the front end, checking our body lines, and then maybe we can find out exactly how many mistakes I made when we did that little bitty body drop. But we'll deal with that later. Peace, love, and mini trucks.